Okay, I'm going to try that again. This time I put a little bit of white lithium grease on the end of the barrel. Which I mostly just wiped off by accident. Oh yeah, that goes in a lot better and pivots. Yeah, the barrel has now pivoted nicely. So that's what you want. Just make sure it's in the groove all the way around. And I think we're ready to put the clip on. And then we'll go check and see if it's tight enough. I also noticed that the old cable had fewer threads exposed. Up here compared with the new one. And you just rotate the clip in order to adjust that. So if I need to, I can always, I think you just rotate the clip in order to adjust the length of the cable. So I may need to adjust the new cable, but I may not. Could be the old cable stretched, or just a different starting length. So we'll just have to go see if it's right or not. So back up in the car, I can see that the new cable is routed from the firewall straight to the pedal. And the little white plastic clip has pulled up into the grommet nicely. And when you push the pedal by hand, it seems to move smoothly. Yeah, I think that's right there's the kick down. But yeah, it seems to be moving smoothly, so looks good on this side. Could probably put the clip on and then try it out. So I looked and I see that the cable is actually too tight because the stop down there is not being contacted when all of the travel is off or when the pedal is relaxed. So I need to loosen up the cable a little bit. So the way I did that was you just rotate to take the slack off, and then you can actually slide the cable up through the little hole. And then to make the cable more slack, you just have to rotate the clip, which is very stiff. Might be better to hold it with a wrench or something, because you don't want to twist the whole cable. You just want to twist the clip in relation to the nut here. Boy, that's hard to turn. So I'll just compare it again with the old cable. So I turned it and compared it. It looked okay. So I'm going to try to put it back in place and see. Loop it around the cam and through the slot and then into position, and see if now, yeah, it's just barely too tight. You can see when you rotate it, it's just a little bit too tight. So I'm gonna have to put some slack in the cable again, which you do by rotating, lifting, sliding the wire out, and then turning this a little bit more, which I'm going to need I'm going to need a wrench to hold this nut. Okay, I went and got my wrenches, and this is a 13 millimeter nut, and so I just need to rotate. I'm going to try one more turn. Oh, that was the wrong way to turn it. One more turn though. I'm going to turn it one more turn towards the nut, which puts a little bit more slack on, and then again test fit it, loop it around through the slot and put in the bracket and see if it's any closer to being right. Now it's still a little, it still seems like it's a little bit off of the stop, which that's not what you want, because it will make the car idle higher than it should. So I need to rotate this another, I'm going to go for one more whole turn closer to the nylon. I assume this is nylon, don't really know what it is, it's black plastic. And then test fit it again. Yeah, and that looks pretty good. So now it is hitting the stop. So I think there's just the slightest amount. Yeah, I think that looks okay. So at that point you put the clip on, and I think the clip went like this. I'm going to check my own video and just make sure I get the clip on the right way. Okay, I checked my own video, and at least the way the clip was on the car when I started was with the tab towards the back, which makes sense, I think. So that's how I'm going to put it back on too. Okay, so I'm going to put the clip back on because I got the slack taken out of the cable. So the clip just slides on and locks the cable in place so it can't pop out. So I think that is ready now for the cover to go back on. Put a little bit of white lithium grease there, which is just a habit of mine, probably useless. Cable looks like it's routed correctly, so I'm going to put this cover back on. Like that. And put the screw back in place, which got my driver in the cabin. Tighten that up, not too tight. And yeah, I think The cable looks nice, brand new cable. Go see if it runs nice and if it moves nice and smooth inside the engine bay, inside the cabin, I should say. Yeah, it feels nice and smooth. No binding, everything looks good. So I'm going to put the trim back on, and then should be ready to start the car and take it for a test drive. This trim is always difficult. You got to get it over the engine compartment handle, and you have to get it to clip up back there. You really got to watch what you're doing to get it to all line up. But then if you get it right, it will more or less, oops, go into position, and then you can put the T25 screws back in place and don't over tighten them. Of course, anyone who has a car as old as this already knows a lot of this stuff. Or you probably would have gotten rid of the car a long time ago. These cars require a lot of love and attention to keep them running without breaking them left and right. And even though I was careful, I broke that connector locking tab, so keep an eye on that and maybe put in a new one. So just get them nice and tight, but not too tight. And then make sure that's still good. Feels good. It's good enough for a test drive. Pretty exciting. Of course, it's going to run exactly the same as it did before I messed with it, but that's good.